As an international student, applying for the UK study visa is one of the most stressful and the financially demanding journey you may want to embark on right now.
I see the vision clear, no more confusion. We dare your shop plug for global movement, step by step guidance. That's our assurance. Odicam Royal Travels, your gateway to the world. Odicam.
My name is Engineer Adika Ogochukwu. Welcome back. Now, here in Adika Royal Travel, we give you all the tips, insights, and information regarding your travel and the opportunities abroad. Make sure you stick to this page so you may have all the benefits and information that you need, making sure that you achieve success in your travel abroad journey. Whether you are a first-time applicant or someone who may have gotten a refusal in the past, you have to pay serious attention to issues or things that may lead you to having a refusal again, because this refusal may not just be a refusal. This may lead to a 10 years ban depending on the situation or what may have happened during your application. So therefore, that is why you need to pay serious attention to understand what you should avoid during your application. Today, let's talk about three serious situations that may lead you to any of the above stated conditions, whether a refusal or a 10 years ban. Stick to this video to the end, because the third one is a recurrent situation for refusals. You know, when you get your visa refusal, they will always state why or the reason why they refuse you visa. The first reason for most visa refusal is the 28 days rule. Now, under the UKVI appendix, finance is one of the major reasons for most visa refusal, especially those for visit study visas, those that are not under the scholarship program or being sponsored by a known organization. Now, let's talk about the main confusion surrounding this rule in this particular context. Now, most applicants think that if their account balance can show the total cost for their tuition and their feeding expenses, then they are covered or not into this trap. Now, the truth is that the UKVI monitors the total sum that is being deposited or that is left in your account prior to your application over these 28 days. Now, the money must not short of any kobo or penny. They observe how consistent this money have been in your account. You know, that particular account you used to be applying for your visa is where this money must be deposited into. You may want to ask, how can you fall into this trap? The figures are out there everywhere. Now, there are two basic things that may lead you to get into this trap. Number one is you not knowing the official rate as at the time you are applying, because this rate varies from time to time. The UKVI on a regular basis changes this figure based on the present situation in the country. So they want to update the amount. Remember, this amount is being spread into two. One, or it's a summation of two particular figures. One is your tuition deposit for that particular year. Your tuition deposit. Now, for that particular year, one is your tuition balance for that particular year, because it's a period of 1 year. Let's say 9 months is your tuition balance, and the other one is your maintenance expenses your upkeep expenses. So these two money or these two expenditure make up your expected official balance for your visa application. Now, coming to your tuition deposit, that you may not have problem because you know the figures already. But where the problem always lie is the the amount with which you use in calculating your living expenses. For example, if you live within the London area, you're expected to pay presently you're expected to pay about £1,529 or spend £1,529 per month. Now you times it for 9 months. Now, if you are living outside the London area, then you'll be paying about £1,171. Now, it's either you don't know the region or you're not aware of the region where your school is located, or you used an outdated figure in calculating your deposit or your official expected deposit. So it's expected that you always be informed. Do not rely on videos you see on social media. Be always informed with the latest update of the UKVI, because it's their update or their official release is what is being used to do your visa application. Because the person that will be scrutinizing your document will use the latest update with which they will use to judge your application, not what was done before. So at this point, I would like to let you know that we have a complete, comprehensive guide with which you will use in doing your application without you getting anybody involved. Even if perhaps you engage an agent or someone to do this application for you, you still need that guide, because you yourself need to be appraised of what is going on, how these things are being done, so that you can audit the person so that there won't be any problem. Now remember, if there is any problem in your application, if there is any mistake, the mistakes varies. There are mistakes that will only receive a visa refusal for a first timer or even a second timer. There are also mistakes that may lead to a 10-year ban. Now, this 10 years ban is not something you will joke with, because it will frustrate your entire traveling abroad ambition or dream. So, you need to take this very seriously. Get our compilation. It's a guide. We compile this, all I have said, in a more detailed manner. Now, there are a lot of things or a lot of traps that will likely catch up with you during your visa application. These things you need to avoid. They are all in that guide. You have to get it, so that, because your visa, the person applying for your visa may not even have the time to check all these things. They will likely not have, because it's not only you that they are applying for, especially when it's an agent. Now, if it's not an agent, then it's another problem, because that person knows also not be appraised with the recent information. So that is why you need to get this guide, because there are official links where you can click and get official information based on the current situation. That is why I will want to encourage you, try by all means to get this guide, because it's very, 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 very affordable. You can't really sleep on it. It's very affordable. Make effort, search around the description. You will see the link to getting this guide. Even on that, you also see the link of getting other countries visa application like Canada, England. They are all there. So which you can refer or refer to anyone that you know that is needed. You really need to be careful and not to get into any of these traps while doing your application. On that guide also you will see a comprehensive list, because now some schools have scholarships. Apart from the major government sponsored scholarships, there are other scholarships that are within a school that you will not know even upon application. Now, when you get this guide, you will see these scholarships. Some of these scholarships are a kind of bonuses or deductions that you are entitled to. Now, on this guide, all this information that you use in getting than 1,000 or 2,000 pounds more, plus your visa guaranteed success. So it makes more sense if you pick this guide. Now, if within these 28 days and you have issues like bank deducting their bank charges for maybe ATM card or normal bank charges or a particular fee, or you have any deduction in that particular sum and make the money to reduce from the official amount that is expected to be balanced in your account, then that 28 days will cancel and run back to zero, and the 28 days will start counting anytime that money is complete in your account. Now, for example, you may have 12,000 pounds as what is required in your account, and the money have stayed 28 days in your account already, and you are ready for your application, your visa application. Now, if unknown to you, this money was deducted even by £5, and the money is no longer the 12,000 pounds that is requested of you to be in your account, then that 28 days have cancelled. Now, the 28 days will only start to count when that money is at least complete the official amount or above. So your 28 days the money must be complete in your account, and it should not be deducted or less than the official amount. Now, how do you fix this? How you fix this is you are always advised to make sure that you have extra money in your account, like to cover after the official amount. For example, like I said before, if the official amount that is expected to be in your account is 12,000 pounds, you should make effort to make it at least 12,500 or 13 or 14,000. The money must supersede the official amount, so that any extra bank charges or whatever may not affect the balance. Now, the second part of the 28 days is your 31 days circle gap. Now, most times most applicants rely on the 28 days, that once the money have circled or meet the circle of 28 days in their account, they can now print the statement and do the application. Now, in most cases, they don't do the application immediately. They will wait for weeks, especially in recent time now that some schools will demand this same bank statement for them to give you your CAS. CAS means your confirmation of acceptance for study. Now, this is the school confirming that you have met all the academic criteria for you to study that particular course you want to study. Now, they will not issue you the CAS, the confirmation for acceptance, which is shortly called CAS. Now, this CAS also stands in as your invitation letter. Now, for you as a temporary visa applicant, you need an invitation letter with which you will use in applying for your visa. And since the school you are going for study, the school will now stand in to give you this invitation letter. That CAS is what will stand in as an invitation letter. The school saying that they have checked your credentials and everything, and they are sure that you are now qualified to apply for this study. Now, they are now telling the UK VI Home Office to now verify your situation and grant you a visa. Now, most schools now take extra measures in checking people they give their cars for them to assure that they will not waste their slot in you, that they will give you cars and maybe later you have a visa refusal. So they want to make sure they monitor the process of application. So they request for your bank statement. Now, most students will print this bank statement and use it in getting their cars. Now, after getting the cars, they will still keep the same bank statement which they will want to use in their visa application, which may likely be after weeks. And this also, of course, when you apply for cars, you may have printed this thing and apply for cars. It may take a week or so for them to give you a feedback, whether approving you or not. Now, after they may have approved you, most students also take some days or weeks applying for their main visa. Now, within this period, the 31 days cycle with which you are supposed to cover for your visa application payment, this money or that your bank statement will likely expire officially if you do not use it in applying for visa. Now, within that period, if it exceeds 31 days, now you likely have an automatic refusal, because why? You have escaped the 28 days, but the 31 days is where you will likely get trapped because of the time. So you have to understand that after you do the 28 days, you should also make sure that you fall within the 21 days for your application. Now, within these 28 days also is another trap, which is also the currency devaluation. Now, remember, most times, if your money is in naira, Nigerian naira, or say the Indian rupees, now this will affect you. If the money devaluates to an extent that, for example, what was expected, the official amount that is expected to be in your account is £12,000, and due to the currency devaluation, now the money is not up to £12,000, then it's a direct refusal, because they will check the balance based on the day they are working upon your application, that they will check the exchange rate, not as at when you deposited the money. No, they will not. Nothing concerns them the exchange rate as at when you deposited your money into your account. What they are concerned more about is the exchange rate as at the time they are evaluating your application, and if they convert the amount and it's not up to the official the expected official amount, then it's a direct visa refusal. So, like I said before, it is always advisable that you add more money, maybe extra £1,000 or 2 or 3, depending on your capability, so that you won't fall into any of these traps. Now, another trap in these 28 days is the funding type you are bringing. Now, some people will want to bring their cryptocurrency wallets, mutual funds, name it, pension receipts and all that. Those are not acceptable. Even your company's bank statement is not acceptable, because the money is assumed not to be yours. Now, money that is accepted should be money that is in your account, and that money must, 1, complete the 28 days now. 2, it must first of all be complete. Now, based on your situation, the money must meet up the total amount that is expected, official amount that is expected to be deposited in your account, then secondly, it must cover that 28 days. So you have to make sure that this money is accessible to you in an account that you have access to. You can withdraw at any time, and this should not also be a new account. Now, in recent times, they now check to know when is this account open. This should not just be an account that you just opened recently and now want to use it for a visa purpose. Now, if you just open the account, possibly there will be a lump sum that will to make up the amount that you are requiring. And with this, they cannot trace the genuinity of that money into your account. They can't trace how did you manage to get that money. So you have to consider this factor that these ones are for the 28 days. Now let's move to the second trap that we likely face as an international student applying for visa in the UK. Now, another issue which we are to consider in this video is the large sum deposit. This one is a recurring issue. Like always, most applicants, if not 95%, always fall into this trap. Now, the UK VI will always scrutinize. The problem is not you having enough money in your account. No, that is not their worry. Their worry is to go further and check how did you manage to make this money? How did you manage to acquire or amass such amount of money? They really want to know if naturally you can afford that money. Because remember, their aim point is to accept people that they know that will not become nuisance in their country. They cannot just accept you because you have money in your deposit. Then when you come into their country, you will now become a nuisance, seeking for assistance, looking for help here and there, and you won't be able to pay to complete your tuition. Remember, this money, when a school admits a particular number of students, they make sure that this number of students are able to meet up with the payment of their staffs and maintenance of their facilities. So if after making all the budgeting and strategizing on how to cover a financial year, and a number of students will come in and not meeting up their total tuition payment and other obligations, then you will see that the school will get into issues financially. So therefore, UKVI, through the visa officer, we want to scrutinize your funding to know naturally, do you have sources or means of funding you apart from that money just deposited in your account, or will become a nuisance. So therefore, they will move ahead to check how did you manage to gather that amount of money. Now let's go deeper into this. Under this, we start with the first one, which is called fund packing. Not just money that has 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, and suddenly there is 50 million. You know, even our Nigerian banks also flag such an account. That is why most times, if such a huge amount is being deposited in some account, they will invite the owner of the account. If they don't invite you, they will wait. Your next withdrawal in the bank, you will pass through a lot of stress because they want to know how come such a large amount is being deposited in your account. So if your Nigerian banks can even see this as a red flag, what about a foreign international organization that is granting visa? So this is also a serious red flag. Avoid depositing large sum of money suddenly. But if you must do so, then you have to prove how that money gets into your account. You have to give them genuine proofs of how you how you were able to, maybe the money is a gift, or sold the property or something. But also you have to be careful, because you have to check why will you sell and all that. So you have to be careful on how you are packaging your account for this particular reason. Now, what counts as a large deposit? Like we said before, most times large deposits are money that exceed the regular amount that usually come into that, far exceed the regular amount that usually being deposited into this account. It's not just the amount. Also, when this money is coming from unexplained or a suspicious source, example, 20 million, 30 million is being deposited into your account without any genuine explanation of where the money is coming from, no description. Now, even if this money, you have a description for the money, also when you are using this account for visa application purposes, you have to bring up documents to also prove the deposit, to also prove that description like that. Now, assuming you deposited, or there is a deposit of 5 million into your account now, and it's a gift from a friend who is supporting you, that person should write in the description that it's a gift for your admission process. They also, because of course it's expected that any money that is coming in as a support has to be in your account. If not, that money will not be accepted to, or will not be counted as part of your proof of funds. So if that money is being deposited in your account, the depositor has to explain in the description that this money is for so and so and so to support or something. They can even go further in writing a kind of document, legal document or whatever, to also support this, which you also scan and add it in your document. You have to scan and add it as a backup. Also, if it is a landed property or any other transaction that you did, you have to, or you are expected to raise an official document showing proof of how this deposit or this amount is being deposited. Why is it deposited into your account? Now, if it is a gift from your family and friends, it will follow the method I just explained earlier. Now, if it is a money deposited from, like I said, family or friend, you have to raise documents to prove your relationship with them. For example, if it is your father or mother, also you have to bring up a birth certificate to show proof of relationship. You have to also bring bank account statement. If it is from a fixed deposit, you also have to show where the money is coming from. If it is also from, let's say, a loan, the company or the loan company have to also bring up document that you will use to prove that this money is a loan, and it also must be clearly stated that it is a loan for educational purposes, depending on your situation. The bottom line is that every lump sum that is being deposited into your account that will be used for visa application purposes, which you are expected to be used to count as part of your deposit, your expected official deposit, must be proved. It have to be proved that this money is from a genuine source with documents. Welcome back. Now, if you find this video very interesting, I would encourage you to give us a thumbs up, a like, and share to related people that you know that this may be valuable to them. Don't let this information be just for you. Make effort in sharing it so that we can also spread this information to other people that it may be useful to them.